that much money to it. So they're looking at 3 different plans that are essentially smaller than that. So 1,600, I think 2,000, and 3,000. I think are the 3 areas. So you buy in the declining balance. There'd actually be a little discount for those folks as well. So we're going to see how those all play out.
With the declining balance, is that paid monthly like it was with like your resident stuff, or is that all up front?
So all of the housing bills are paid twice a year. So we bill, or 3 times a year if you're on the 11.5 month apartments. So we bill everyone on the beginning of fall and beginning of spring unless they want the installments. And so the installments, and this is really, actually, I'm glad you asked this question, because we have 8 installments for a 9-month or essentially 10-month if folks are on continuous hauls program. So it's not a monthly bill, it's a installment. 8 installments for the 9-month hauls and 10 for the 11.5 month apartments.
So you said that freshmen are going to be living on for 2 years. So is that going to, like, my question is, like, where they're going to go? Because I know that we have a lot of freshmen.
Yeah,
So,
it's a great question. So can we just give a little quick teaser on this? So we, essentially what we're going to do is we're going to, with South Campus Plaza, this adds between 600 and 900 beds in our capacity. There's a lot of apartments that Aztec Shops owns that are not under our license agreement right now. We're considering purchasing additional apartments, and then we're also going to be building additional residence halls. Did anyone live in Quequecalli as a freshman? Okay, so Quequecalli as a freshman hall is really not ideal. It's a place where many times our freshmen struggle to connect, because you connect with folks within the suite, but you don't necessarily connect with folks on the floor unless you are really ambitious and outgoing. And so we have found that through kind of years, and really when the building was built, I'm sure that's what was thought, that it would be a sophomore above building. So that's one of the buildings that we will probably reduce the freshman capacity or density, and then have more sophomores or others in there. South Campus Plaza will eventually probably be all upper division folks. It will be next year, one of the 2 towers will be non-freshmen, and so that'll probably migrate that way. So the hall that we're going to be building is probably a freshman hall. So it'll be more the traditional type of housing where you have a hall, bath, restroom down the hallway, so it doesn't have quite that privacy piece. What we have found is that freshmen want privacy, but what they need is community. What they need is engagement. Many times people are leaving in good academic standing, financially they're fine, everything else, they just don't feel like they belong. And we want to do what we can to help reinforce that belonging piece.
Since there's going to be new freshmen like residence halls built, does that mean that more freshmen are going to be let in, or does that mean they're just going to be shuffled around a little bit different?
As of today, and for now, we will not grow our enrollment with freshmen. So any enrollment growth that we have would probably be for transfer students. So we will maintain kind of the number of freshmen that we've had the last couple of years. That 35, 51 that you saw in the profile is probably a freshman count. What you'll see is that more people are living on campus from the second year. What we may also do is create relationships with some of the local landlords, so that the juniors and seniors who no longer have room on campus have a place to go that may have an REO component to it. Details to be determined, that's just speculation right now, but what we don't want to do is have anyone feeling like they're being pushed out into the cold.
This might be a little nitpicky, but are you basing it off of years here at SDSU or units?
We're doing it based on their neither. We're doing it based on when they graduate from high school.
Okay.
So we have decided not to get into that conversation and just saying year of graduation, of high school graduation will be the date that bases their eligibility for that 2 year.
Okay.
So we don't want to have to worry about AP, we don't have to worry about number of credits, we don't want to worry, well, I'm still a freshman, so I should be in that hall, or I'm a sophomore, and I'm 18 years old. So it also helps the folks who are veterans, who graduated a couple years ago and in their service and then have come back. They'll automatically be exempt for those folks. And then it's also probably important to know that the exemptions that we currently have for students will continue for our sophomore program. So financial, married, veteran, if you have that, if you're older than 21, so we have the same exemptions that we'll always have. So.
And in case we haven't said it, our first year requirement is for non-local students. The same will be true for the second year program as well. So it will be for non-local area students. Our local area students will still have the option to not live on campus. They can if they wish to, but they do not have to.
And we'll give you more details when we come back, but it'll be paid in 2 years. Any other questions?
So you said that now the requirement is for 2 years, so like the sophomores, like will they also be in dorms, or is it gonna be more like the apartment
It'll
style
be-
for the sophomores?
The sophomores will be in residence halls if they want to, and the residence halls will be in our South Campus Plaza that I just showed you in Quickie Cali. Otherwise, they'll be in apartments.
Okay.
So it will not be the same housing that we have for the freshmen. We'll have freshman-specific communities, and then we'll have the sophomore-specific communities. It'll be different programming, different support services, really tailored to the needs of those unique communities.
And then just to make sure, the on-campus apartments will still be open for junior and senior level students as well, correct?
We will be limited to do that, at least initially. So juniors and seniors for this next year, yes. As we phase in, maybe, once we fully integrate the sophomores, no, at least not initially. Because we'll just have enough space to accommodate all of the freshmen and sophomores that we anticipate. The exception, of course, being the RAs and CAs that we have in the halls. There'll be more job opportunities, that'll be good, because we'll have more students and more positions to fill. But then, again, that's where we may work with the local landlords to have a place for the juniors and seniors and grad students to go.
Thank you.
And this change is due to the sophomore, is for to increase ratings for educational purposes, or?
It's about student success. So we know that sophomores in general, which what across the country we call the sophomore slump. SDSU has the same phenomenon where sophomores sometimes get lost. If they're not engaged in a program like this or some of the other things, they might start questioning whether or not they made the right decision. And they had a lot of support that first year, and all of a sudden it's gone. And they don't really know how to access that again when it's not just right near them. So we've been looking at a lot of research, we've been visiting other campuses that have sophomore programs, and what we have found is essentially we want to help the students be successful. We want to have them graduate, and graduate in a timely way. And so if investing one more year on campus helps them do that, again, the percentages are similar to what we showed you with the freshmen. It's double-digit increases in success. We want to make that investment.
And you'll see when we do the next presentation, we know that our sophomores want independence, but they need support. And so this will give them both. And so we have an entire program dedicated for our second-year students. Right now we call it our Aztec Journey program. And right now it's targeted towards sophomores as well as a lot of our transfer students who are juniors and seniors who live with us. But we're really focusing and specializing on the things that sophomores need as we continue to work through that program. So much like the Life 101 for our first-year students, we have the Aztec Journey programming model for our upper division, for our sophomores. And we'll talk about that more next time.
Will sophomores be able to pick preference for their halls?
Very likely, yes. We'll give them more choice than we give the freshmen.
Is that Life 101, is that an RLC?
No, that is all of the residence hall, or all of the first-year communities. The RLC is sometimes what they do, they work with that Life 101 model, but they will do some of their programming tailored toward the theme of that learning community.
Since we're gonna be having sophomores and freshmen from out of the area required to live on campus, is it gonna make it like more competitive for in-area students to be able to live on campus?
For your second year, yes.
Yeah.
Freshmen, no. We have grown from about 11% of the local students to about 25% of the local freshman class. We will continue to support that group. We anticipate that since they are not required to live on campus that second year, that many will choose not to. So we've anticipated that that'll go down to the single digits again. Again, what we want to do is, if there's demand, we will do what we can to accommodate it over time. Right now, we're talking about building a residence hall that probably won't open until 2020, and it's 2016 still, so it takes that much time to get some of these things done.
What was your guys' website?
You can do housing.sdsu.edu. Great question. And we will be migrating to the new content management system here in the next few weeks, and so you'll see a whole new look and feel. Love your feedback, what you like, what you don't like. Please share that with us.
And if you're hearing from families or students concerns, or, yay, this was so easy to find, we'd love that feedback too. That really helps us make sure that our website is student and family friendly.
All right. So Michelle knows where we are, so if you have other questions, and then we'll come back and talk about sophomores more specifically.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.